Hello and welcome to the first broadcast of the Armstrong Community Spotlight. My name is Seth Stowers. I'm one of the Armstrong employees who make up the team that will be bringing you local events to the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. We also will be introducing our viewers to the local businesses and the people that provide essential goods and services to our communities. Unfortunately, there is a very sparse way of notifying people when events like this happen. If I wasn't associated with one of the bands, I would not have known that this was happening. So I thought that this would be the perfect way to kick off what we are trying to do. We believe that small businesses in America are the backbone on which our communities were built, and their continual support ensures the continuity of our cherished lifestyle. Today we are here with
Christy Ray.
Christy, tell us what precipitated you organizing this event or helping organize it?
Well, we had that huge forest fire in Ranger, March 23rd, I believe was the date. No, 30th, I'm sorry. The winds were really bad that day, and it caused 9 fire departments to come out and help our Guyan River volunteer fire department to control it. And they fought for 12 hours traversing mountains and just, with little to no water and nothing to eat. And they actually saved all of our homes, and it came back behind most of our homes. And they saved all of our homes. Actually, the Guyan River Fire Department came back out because ours set ablaze again, and that we actually would have probably lost our home on that second time. So, it was very impressive. We are so grateful for them for what they've done, and how all the fire departments kind of band together to come and help our little community. And we just wanted to do this to kind of say thank you to them and let them know their work doesn't go unnoticed, and maybe try to raise a little money for the fire department, and while doing so.
Well, good. I think it raises the awareness of the need for volunteers. Absolutely. In a situation like this. I know that same day I was coming across 4 Mile and there was a fire there too, and it was like the whole county was on fire. And I heard that there were people that actually departments came from Mason County. Is that correct?
I don't think to ours. That might have been to the 4 Mile, or I think Chapmanville actually had a forest fire too, didn't they? That same night. So I think they kind of divided up as much as they could to help everybody.
How you doing, girl?
That is amazing. Well, thank you for putting this on. This is really impressive to me. I mean,
thank you for coming and covering.
Well, it's something that I've wanted to do, and my boss at Armstrong is very supportive of the community. Armstrong themselves are very supportive of the community and the community events. I really wanted to make sure that the rest of Lincoln County gets an opportunity to see this and see what can really be accomplished when people pull together.
Ranger's always been a community that's pulled together. Always. We laugh together, we cry together, we celebrate good times, and we grieve the bad. I mean, we all do it as a community, as one big family. So this is no different.
Well, to me, it's very impressive. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name's Donna Martin, and I am working with the Ranger Improvement Committee, and that's really the committee that has organized all of this. And we are so proud to do this for our community, and we want to help the fire department all we can. They're a lifesaver. And we plan in the future to do more activities our committee does. So we would appreciate people following us. We'll be on Facebook, and we'll be in the paper. The paper has graciously written an article about 2 weeks ago concerning this, and they hope to do another article as a follow-up. So we would like you to follow us and help us, and just volunteer to help us, to help the community, so we can help everyone.
Well, very good. Thank you very much. So here's the fire chief of the Guyan River Fire Department, and he's been a very busy man, and which kind of is the reason that this event is being turned on. So I'm going to let him introduce himself and kind of give you guys a brief rundown on all the events that they've got happening.
My name is William Frazier, Jr. I'm the current fire chief at Guyan River Fire and Rescue. We've got today, we're going to do some rappelling, some rope rescue stuff. We're going to do some auto extrication, cut a car up for you here after a while, and do some water, spray some water, do some water sports for you. And got all of our equipment out here to look at, and this is it's the equipment that the county fire levy has bought over the years that we wouldn't have without it. And what else you want to know?
Well, I'll tell you, it's an amazing thing that what you guys do, and I just feel that not enough people understand all that you guys have to do because you are volunteer, and you never fail to answer the call when there's a fire. And I, for one, am very appreciative of our volunteer fire departments here in Lincoln County, and you guys are, you're right at the top of all of this. I just am very impressed with what I've seen so far, and I just personally wanted to thank you, and I wanted to make sure that the rest of the county got to see this. And I hopefully in the future when you guys do other events, I can come out and cover that and broadcast that for you also.
Absolutely. There's a lot goes into running a fire station. It's not anything that I do. I've got a very good team because it takes a whole team of people to keep things going here. People behind the scenes that keeps the paperwork straight. I'm blessed we started a junior firefighter program back 3 or 4 years ago, and we were able to draw in about 19 junior firefighters into our department, and we put them all through level 1 training, sent them to the state junior firefighter camp, which has been a blessing to our department. It's allowed us to retain them and get better training for them. And my department is a fairly younger person department now because of they kind of outnumber us old guys now. And that has been a blessing to us just for to pass it down to the next generation because your fire departments are kind of dwindling down. There's not many people in them now. Anybody out there, I would say get interested in it, support your volunteer fire departments, and come join them. They need your help, and they're all hiring.
So do you have a number where they can reach you? If somebody was interested, how would they get in touch with you guys?
Just call any of your local stations there. There's 8 fire stations in Lincoln County. That's Mud River, Allen Creek, Duval, Harts, West Hamlin, Guyan River, and Harts.
Well, that's very good information to have. I would sincerely hope that people who view this, if they have any interest at all in serving their communities, this is a really, really good way of doing it. The house you save may be your own, as was exhibited there on March 30th. And I, for one, wanted to thank you so much for your service. And if there's anything I can do that doesn't involve a whole lot of heavy lifting, I'd be more than happy to help you guys. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
You bet. Now I've got a couple of band members here, or 3 band members, or 4 band members. I need these guys to come up here. They're going to be playing here in a little while. Introduce yourself.
Matthew Vance, I'm with Forgiven.
My name's Josh Vance, I'm with Forgiven.
And what, other than the fact that it's your community and everything, what brought you guys out here today to volunteer your time? And that's some impressive equipment that I saw set up there. I'm looking forward to playing through that this evening.
We've been active with the fire department for years. He's been on there for how long?
I'm the chaplain of Guyan River Volunteer Fire Department, been there 16 years.
So, but it's our community. If we don't put back where we come from, what are we?
That is the entire point of why I came out today to honor you guys for what you do. And I've never been to here, and I'm just really impressed with what I've seen so far. And I'm looking forward to getting this out on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel and exposing you guys to the rest of Lincoln County. You drive up Guyan River here, you go around a couple of curves, and it's a brand new world. And I don't think people realize that we have communities all over Lincoln County like this that are doing this. Yeah, and so this is what keeps us bonded together. And I just wanted to say thank you guys. I appreciate what you do, and I appreciate you coming out and going to play, and I'm going to try to record you.
Anytime to play music. Anytime to play music.
Absolutely. I don't even have to have a reason either.
Nope, not at all.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
We appreciate you coming.
You bet, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, folks, I've got a couple of the members of the Guyan River Fire Department that started at a very young age, and they've stuck with it, and it has actually turned into a paying gig for them. So I'd like you to introduce yourselves and tell me what age you started with Guyan River.
I'm William Daniel Frazier. My grandfather, his grandfather, and my dad have all been firemen, and I'll be the fourth generation fireman. And I was pretty much born into this, but I officially joined around the age of 11 with our cadet program.
Yeah, you really didn't have a chance to do anything else then. And you are?
I'm Gabriel Neese. I joined the fire department whenever I was 11 too, and I'm first generation.
So if there's kids out there that are going to watch this, what would you tell them that this is all about? What would you tell them?
I tell them there's a lot of stuff you can do in your community, and it's a great thing to come out and say that you're a part of the community and you can help in any way you can. And joining a volunteer fire department is probably the gateway to building a better community.
And the type of training that you guys get, I mean, really, it's second to none, right?
Absolutely. You know, we've been really fortunate with some of our instructors and some of the classes that have opened up. Our program kind of showed some of the higher ups that, like, hey, you know, we can get them started at a younger age. So we've had a lot of camps that were more towards younger people and trying to get just that younger crowd involved in the fire service. And it really helps, and there's all kinds of classes and schools and teachers and instructors that are out there willing to teach us young folks.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, today was the first day I ever heard about it. So I'm hoping that, you know, me getting this out and getting it on TV, that there's going to be kids out there that go, you know, I always want to be a fireman, you know, and maybe what you guys are showing will encourage them. Do you think?
Yeah, you know, our program was the first program out there really that we ever heard of, or, you know, out there even on this side. And with us starting it, it showed other fire departments that even if, you know, they start at a young age, they can go ahead and start getting their classes and certifications, and by the time that they get old enough, then they'll already be ready, and they've already, you know, spent time in the department. They know how this stuff works. So starting them young like that, it really gives them such a head start into the fire service.
You got something you'd like to add to that?
Well, with starting them out young like this, we started at 11. We started just washing trucks around the station and helping out. By the time we turned 16, we took our Firefighter 1 over here in Ranger Elementary School. And when we were 16, we already had our Fire 1, which helped us quite a bit. And then after that, we just started taking a bunch of classes. By the time we hit 18, we had more classes than most paid firemen. So it really helped out with starting us young, getting us into the program and stuff. And it helps us later on in life build skills.
Now, it's my understanding that you both ended up catching some paying gigs based upon your training here. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, after I graduated high school, I'd wondered for a little while, like, you know, what I wanted to do if I wanted to go to college. And with the amount of classes I already had, I was fortunate enough. I got onto a career department, and, you know, this is what I get to do for the next 29 years of my life, 29, 30 years. And it was a dream that started in kindergarten, and now I'm 19 years old, and it's like I'm living that dream every single day. I get to do what I love, and I get to do it every day I wake up.
Well, I personally think that's just awesome, you know, and I'm hoping that there's some kids out there that are going to see this and say, you know, that's what I want to do. This is Ranger, folks. This is not Chicago. This is not New York. This is not even Charleston. This is Ranger, West Virginia. These people care here. You can be that same type of person. Get in touch with your local volunteer fire department. Get involved. Start your training. You may find that you like it. If you don't like it, you've wasted no time, believe me. So thank you very much, guys. I want to shake your hand because I just think what you're doing is awesome.
Thank
you know,
you.
I'm glad I had the opportunity to come out and meet you guys today. I hope I don't meet you on the other side of a fire. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm here with Sheila Frazier, who's going to explain to us what her connection to all of these people and all this equipment. And she is the matriarch of the fire department up here. and she's going to tell you a little bit about everything she's involved with.
Well, I'm involved. I'm a member of the Parks and Recreation Board for Lincoln County, and also a member of the Guyan River Volunteer Fire Department. They had a big brush fire over here, and we came over and helped with that. And the community was so overwhelmed with what we did, but that was our job. And they wanted to do a celebration here today, and kind of thank all the fire departments that came and responded. We had 8 of them, and everybody pitched in, done a real good job. So they want to thank the fire department for this.
Well, I think it's a great thing that you guys are doing, and a great way to honor the fire department. And I personally want to thank you for everything that you're doing.
Well, thank you too. We thank our community.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm here with a couple of members of the fire department, and they're going to explain to me, because I don't know what these pieces of equipment are for, but they're going to tell me what they are, and they're going to tell me what they do.
So starting off, these are our extrication tools. We have a set of cutters and we have our spreaders. These are what we use now. Technology has come a long way. You know, we started off with these hand tools, and you know, this was if someone was trapped inside of a car, or if someone couldn't get out, anything like that, you know, this is what we started off with. So we always try to bring it out and show the community, you know, stuff wasn't always as easy, and try to show them, you know, where our roots came from. But these are our hydraulic tools, and we got the hydraulic generator back there. It's what we hook the lines and stuff up to. And so if, you know, we've got a door that's collapsed in, or we can't get the trunk or something open, or hood if it's on fire, then this is what we'll use. We call these the jaws of life. We can stick them in, and the amount of force that these have is extraordinary. You know, we've seen these things do some absolute crazy things, and this is really one of our life-saving tools. That's why we call them the, you know, jaws of life. These right here are cutters. If we need to cut something out of the way, or if we've got a door that's collapsed in on someone, then, you know, we put these in there, we can cut them, we can do a door peel, where even if the door is shut, we cannot get it open for the life of us. With these 2 tools right here, there's not a thing in this world that can stop us.
Wow. Hold those up so that the camera can see them. Just how massive that they really are.
And these things are not light at all. No. You know, it takes a lot of training just to get used to trying to get them into small spaces, something this big and this heavy. And even the jaws themselves, they're even heavier than the cutters are. And, you know, there's a lot of time that we spend trying to train, trying to, you know, get used to these things, because whenever we first came into it, you know, it's hard going from nothing to, you know, big heavy tools in small spaces, trying to get someone out, you know, making sure we don't get into the patient or anything like that. We have some hand tools over here too.
Yeah, it's really cool. Let me readjust the camera here. I want to zoom in on that, and you can explain those to us also. Tell me who you are.
I'm Samuel Ferguson with the Guyan River Volunteer Fire Department.
You are?
My name is William Klein. I am part of the Guyan River Volunteer Fire Department. My bad.
I'm William Frazier.
Yeah, we got you. You are?
I'm Michael Neese. I'm also with the department.
Awesome. Show us what these all these different tools are, and show us what scenario in which you're going to use these, okay?
So starting off, we have our gear right here. We've got our boots and pants. We set them up like this because one thing in the fire service is time. We are always it's always a fight against time, you know, and sometimes even saving someone's life, it comes down to just seconds, mere seconds to save someone's life. So these right here are our boots and pants, and then we have our helmet here, or our jacket here, excuse me, and we have our firefighter's helmet. Now this gear, you know, there's a lot of calls that even if it's not something like a house fire or a structure fire, you know, you'll still see us in a lot of this gear, because whether it's cold outside and it's keeping us warm, or if it's a scene that might be a little bit dirty, then we try to keep this stuff on to try to keep it off of what we call our street clothes, the things we come into the station with. Right here is some of our hand tools. There is probably not a tool that I have not used, or any of us has not used. Every tool has its own purpose, and a lot of the tools actually have multiple purposes, like this one right here. Yeah. This is what we call a TNT tool. It's a sledgehammer, it's an axe, it's a pike pole. And right here's another good example of a pike pole. They come in all kinds of different sizes. You know, if we need to pull, if it's a house that's on fire and we need to pull some of the ceiling down to expose some of those embers, Then this right here is one of the tools that we use. We have a flathead axe, and usually if you ever see a flathead axe, you'll also see a halligan with it. And the reason for that is we do what's called marrying them, and that becomes a set of irons. With this right here, there is not a door in this world that you could not get open with a set of irons, and you can ask anyone that. You can set it into a door just like this, and one will get down, and you can strike. You can pry with the halligan itself. Yep. If we have somewhere where it's like a wood door or something, and use the axe to get into it, there's a million ways to use these tools, and we know every single one of them, Right here is an air pack. Now, along with all of our gear right here, we also use an air pack. Our gear is consisted of 3 layers, and so even in some of these really hot and summer temperatures, sometimes this gets hot very, very quickly. So hydration is one of the big things with us firefighters too. Every time we get a second, we always get something to drink. We try to stay, and that's so we can get continue that work. And so, all of our gear in this air pack, we've got probably an extra 80 pounds, and that's not with some of the tools that we have. Sometimes, if it's just a small fire, we got a water can, and this is just filled with nothing but water, and that's so, if it's nothing big and we don't want to hurt the property, we always try to protect property as well as lives. Sometimes we'll just use that instead of pulling like a big hose off.
This is what we use to open the hydrants with. Has hexagon nut on it. No, pentagon nut. My bad. And you just screw it in, tighten it, and you just go around until it opens.
Right here, this is what we call a spanner wrench. A lot of times we'll carry one of these just in our gear. These are always handy to have. You can turn your utilities off, things like gas, tighten couplings on hoses. There's also a 5-inch spanner, but this is what you'll see most commonly. Right here we've got some different nozzles. Usually on a scene they'll be connected to a hose, obviously, but right here is what we call a smoothbore nozzle, and this has a lot more what we call punching power. So this can flat put someone down. It can punch holes through walls, and if there's something that we're trying to go long distance or something that we need out of our way, so right here is a choice for it. Right here is a nozzle that you'll see probably most common. This just goes, if we're going into a house, it'll have a hose attached to it like this. Moving around, if we're trying to protect exposures, a house next to a house, if we're worried about it catching on fire, we use one of these and stuff. And this is one of our main firefighting tools as well. Right here, this is to put around a hose. If we're climbing up a ladder, if we're doing operations off of the side of a ladder, we can put this around our hose and be able to hang it up off of a ladder. You'll see it sometimes, the fire service, that firefighters will get up there, and there's just a lot that we can do off the side of a ladder. There's a lot of people surprised they see us working up there, and they'll come up on scene sometimes, "Are you guys, isn't that dangerous?" And that's just something that we stay up to with our training, we stay up with our certifications and stuff, because
there's always new ways to do something, better ways, new technologies that are coming out every single day to help us really do our job easier, faster, and safer.
Absolutely. The fire service is an ever-evolving, it's always changing. There's always a better way. There's always something that, even whenever we all came on, it was something like, he'll say something, and that's a good idea. Why haven't we been doing it like that before? So we try to stay fluid. We try to always, conform to what we have going on, the tools that we have. We always try to just, even if it's changing our ways, we always try to keep that change going.
Well, I just think all this stuff is very fascinating to me. I didn't know anything about it, and I'm sure that our viewers probably didn't either. You guys have done a really good job of explaining what these tools do, and I appreciate it. At some point in the future, I'd like to come up with something where you could actually do a little training that I could broadcast,
Yeah, absolutely.
that something on the level, say her level, so that they understand, what they would be coming into. what you guys came into when you joined the fire department. I just think it's be really cool.
And that's the great thing about getting involved with some of the outlets, news outlets and people like that, because if sometimes whenever we show up on scene, people are scared. They see these, we're super tall and stuff, we've got all this gear on and stuff, and sometimes that's scary, and it's good to let the public be able to see this stuff in a situation that's not dangerous, in a calm environment, so they can kind of get used to it. And even whenever we get in that truck and we get off of it, we're there for the people, we're there for the public, we're there to protect, and we're there to serve them. So even if we can show them the tools that that some of their money might go into, and it's great to be able to show them that and show them, this is what we are doing, this is what we are about, this is how, whenever we get off that truck, this is how we're here to help you and save you.
Well, I'm hoping that our county commission gets to view this, because I understand there was a little cutback in funds, and perhaps they can look at this and see where the value truly is.
Yeah, funding it's something that we've struggled with before, and it's something that with more funding, we're able to do more training, we're able to, get the newest and the best, and we're able to get new tools, and with new tools then comes more training, so it's always good to have that funding there, and it really helps our department out. So.
Well, very good. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Okay, guys, we're going to do what we came here to do. We're going to do our very best to try to honor the firefighters that put that wildfire out here in the community of Ranger on the 30th of March. Like I said, it was a big bad fire, and when our chief Bill Frazier there, William Jr., when he called for help, there was no hesitation. He told me he was so proud to turn around and seeing those other fire departments roll in. So there was a lot of fire departments that responded that day. Did we have a total of, Christy, was it 8? Eight fire departments. 8 fire departments from all over the county and out of county responded to the community of Ranger to help put that blaze out. I'm the county clerk, but that day and today I'm just a grateful citizen, just like a lot of you out there. I'm just a grateful citizen to be here, and we're going to do what we can to honor you guys. That's why we wanted to have this event. We wanted to have it to honor you and thank you for what you've done for all of us. One of my own personal stories of the night is Ed and Donella Baker. My parents, they're here. The fire department not only saved their house once that night, they come back at 4 in the morning and saved it again, because after the fire had weakened some trees back behind their house, one of the trees weakened and it fell on a power line, and it got against Mom and Dad's house. And Guyan River Fire Department, being the fire department they were still out at 4 in the morning. They would decided to make another pass through the community to make sure everything was all right. And lo and behold, they saw blue flames shooting out of the aluminum siding on my parents' house. So they were able to, I don't know, do something with a fire extinguisher or something and knock that line all the way back away from their house. And anyway, they saved my parents' home that night for a second time, because earlier in the night the wildfire had burned down, and I never seen a group of firefighters come running like they did when they come running around that house with those lines. It was great. Yeah, my hero. Get your arms in there. There you go. Yeah, that's right. My hero. But there's a lot of people that took notice to that in the community, guys, and that's why we got together and done this. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you, and we knew there was no way to say thank you enough. So we tried to put on this event, and by the turnout, it looks like there's a lot of people that think a lot of you. So we're really proud of you guys. We're proud to have you in our community, and we thank you for everything that you do. I'd like to read a poem. This is from a local author. It's her name is Brenda K. Webb, and she says, "God saved our town. By the grace of God, we are here today. Our town was ablaze, so we bowed to pray. Through all the smoke and fire and hearts racing fast, we cried, Lord have mercy, how long will this last? Flames spread so quickly because of winds were so strong. From treetop to treetop, really moving along. Friends and family gathered for support and love. Our God knew what we needed as He looked from above. So many structures felt the heat from the flames, yet still today our home remains. God was watching every moment, kept us all safe as can be, and all because of our bending knee. Heartfelt thanks to all responders, families, and friends for your non-wavering support. God bless everyone." And that was Brenda Webb. She wrote that the night of the fire, and for me anyway, that brings back, kind of puts chills on me because, yeah, we all kind of wondered how long this was going to last. I think the firefighters were so tired and worn out, and the community pulled together and brought out water and food and tried to give you guys a break the best we could. We knew what you were going through, but I think you guys even had doubts how long, and you must have deep inside been like, oh gosh, I want to quit and go home and rest, but nobody did. You stayed till everybody was safe, and then come back again when you thought, after you thought you were safe, and you finally did go home to rest, but it flared up again and came back out. But we thank you guys, and we have some awards presentation right now. We're going to give out plaques for each individual fire department for you to take back and put in your trophy case or hang on your wall at the fire departments. We think that's about the least we could do is give you some kind of award of appreciation. The plaques they have printed on them. The citizens of Ranger would like to recognize Hamlin Volunteer Fire Department for their heroism displayed by members of its department during the raging wildfire that tore through the community. Your selfless acts on March 30th, 2022 saved countless homes in our community. We are eternally grateful. We have one for Hamlin Volunteer Fire Department. Is there a representative from Hamlin Volunteer Fire Department here? Hamlin Volunteer Fire Department here? No? Okay. Let's move on. Do we have a representative from Mud River Volunteer Fire Department? Chris, would you come up, please? Yes, absolutely. Round of applause. Have a representative from Harts Volunteer Fire Department? Harts, come on up. Anybody from Harts? Any one of you guys from Harts or all of you guys from Harts? If you're here, you come up. Do we have any representatives from East Lynn Volunteer Fire Department? East Lynn Volunteer Fire Department? Do we have one? No? Okay. Hey Billy, the ones that doesn't get these, can you get a hold of some members maybe and get them to them? Okay. Wayne Volunteer Fire Department? Wayne Volunteer Fire Department? I thought I recognized him. Any representatives from Duval Volunteer Fire Department? Duval? Anybody here from Duval? Okay, Duval was there. We'll get to them. And last but not least, I'd like to have Chief Bill Frazier come up from Guyan River Volunteer Fire Department. That's our home fire department. He was the first that responded that day.
Speech.
Hey, Bill wants to say a quick few words about that day. Just tell a little bit about what happened and what he was thinking when you pulled in and that house was on fire and you knew you was pretty much all alone that day and wind was raging.
So we got dispatched that day for a small brush fire. Red flag day, 40-mile-an-hour winds, hadn't rained in a couple of weeks. It was the worst conditions for a forest fire that you had. And when we arrived on scene, we had one structure about half involved, second one on fire, railroad track was on fire, a tree on fire towards Greg's house, and it was roaring up the hill. And it was just me and Williams on the first arriving engine. So it was just two of us. So you know, they teach you to size these things up when you first pull in, making an assessment of what's going to happen. And my initial assessment was, oh God, we can't handle this. This is, I'm going to need help. And so we started, pulling two lines, kept the water off the propane tank, started fighting the house fire. Couldn't do nothing with the forest fire. Didn't have the people at the time. So got on the radio, and I think Derek Kirk was dispatching, and I reported to him, I got two structures burning, a forest burning, railroad track burning. I said, I need help. I said, I don't care where it comes from. And help started quickly arriving. A couple of my trucks showed up, Hamlin's trucks, West Hamlin's. I didn't see East Lynn's truck come in, but I turned around and Big Jim Asbury was standing beside me. I said, cool, you're all here. It's in Wayne County's, here. And Mud River wasn't even toned. They just heard us on the radio and came to help us. I mean, that's some support there. That's some friendship. That's brotherhood. And I kind of got through for a loop when Wayne came across the bridge too, because they got a nice looking rotor ray on that truck that they were on. And I thought, who's got a rotor? Who bought a truck? Who's got a rotor ray? See Wayne. I've been doing this about 28 years, and we've not had to have this much help at one time. And it was just great to have that kind of help pour into us, that quickly. And no way could we have handled it without it. And I just want to say thanks to all my brother departments that came to help us, and all my guys that were there for I don't know how many hours it was, and I want to thank the community too for all the support that you gave us while we were there. There were several of you fighting fire, bringing us things, letting us use your yard, your ponds, everything in the community. I miss sandwiches, yes, great sandwiches. Those were a great thing. About 6 o'clock that morning, we were waiting on the power company to get there, and we was at Ed and Donnell's house, and we were, I don't know, just about out of energy whatsoever, and before they shut the power off, Rose made us some coffee and brought it out there, and that coffee like touched my soul. It was kind of like getting me refreshed, but it was a very overwhelming thing. Large fire, hard to deal with because you had 44 structures involved, and we only got 2 engines down there, and you have to spread it out that far. I mean, it takes teamwork, it takes a lot of manpower, and it's just something that most volunteer fire departments are experiencing right now is a dip in manpower. There's just not enough time, there's not enough people, that join and want to come out and do something. So we usually got to call more of us in now and take care of that. If you
And we got something else to report at the department. Bessie from Killing It Decals, they made you a plaque for the firehouse too. It's Guyan River, and it's got the fireman's prayer on it, Station 600. It's really nice. You can tell it took some time and work to do that. They also have this for you, and I'd like to give all these departments another big round of applause. And also, I'd like for members of the Guyan River Volunteer Fire Department to come up. We have, if you were on scene of that fire, we have some individual certificates, and we're going to call your name one by one for you to come up and get those individual certificates we got for you guys at our home department. So we want to recognize you guys too now. First we got Bill Frazier Sr. Bill Frazier Sr. Bill Frazier. Got Bill Frazier Jr. Captain Bill Frazier Jr. just been talking to you. We got William Frazier. Yeah. There is another one. There is another one. They just keep getting better looking too. That's 3 generations of firefighters standing on the stage right here, y'all. And I'd like to recognize also somebody that doesn't get recognized very often. She's always kind of behind the scenes, as Sheila Frazier. She's the mother hen of the group. They're a hard group to handle, she said.
She's a tough woman, she can do it.
She is a tough one. And who cracks the whip and keeps them all in line? Dorothy Frazier. Dorothy, come on up, Dorothy. Yeah, you gotta get it. You gotta get your award.
Get up there, Dorothy.
Come up and get it. Jason, you can collect the award. You can do it. It's Jason Frazier. The whole family is a group of firefighters. Michael Bennett. Michael, could you come up? Samuel Ferguson. Is Brian here? Brian Adkins? Come on up, Brian. Tim McAllister. Is Tim here? Tim's not here? Okay. Stevie McAllister? Steven? Come on up. Clifford Ellis. Clifford Ellis the second. Is Justin here? Justin Chafin? No? Tim Taylor? I ain't seen Tim either. Tim Taylor. Gabriel Neese? Gabriel, would you come get your certificate? Gabriel, he was one of the firefighters at Mom and Dad's house that night that come back out. Appreciate you, Gabriel. Charles Chafin? Charlie? Charlie's here. I see him. There he is. Charlie is also from Blinko Glass. He works at Blinko Glass. He's got his Blinko shirt on. That's some of the stuff that they're raffling off back there. Also, Charlie made some of those items back there on that table. That guy's a talented guy, firefighter, and he's got some talent to him. Talent and skills. William Klein. There you go. He's got some posing action going on there. There you go. Josh Vance. Josh, come on up. He's also a member of Forgiven. We got some multi-talented guys at Guyan River Fire Department. Ashley Nelson. Stephanie Chafin, she here? Robert Carter. I seen Robert somewhere earlier. Robert, can you come up? Robert is also a member of forestry. Forestry come out and help also on that blaze, and he's a member of forestry part-time and the volunteer fire department here at Guyan River part-time. Okay, we got some other members here listed that are members that are not necessarily on the fire department. There's some members of the community. We'd also like to thank, there's some special awards there. I don't know if Jesse Adkins is here. Jesse Adkins. Herbert Thacker. If these people's not here, we're going to make sure they get their awards. Rose Brown. Rose is here. I saw her somewhere. She's helping. Rose, they gave you a special award for your sandwiches.
Sandwiches and coffee.
That's right. I've got him on here. Damer Farley. Here? Yes. These are special members of the community that help, guys. You know, when a tragedy like that or an event like that takes place, community feels, you know, they pull together, and we thank you, Mr. Farley. Brandon Killen. Brandon, did you come up? I know you were here. I saw you here. You were checking out the cars earlier. We appreciate you, Brandon. I saw you with a leaf blower very, very late that night. Still fighting fire up there, and I think there was some maybe some shells around the tool shed that started going off, some unspent rounds that you had to get away from up there, right? Yeah. He hit it. When bullets start flying, you get down, don't you? And also we have one for Scott Neese. Scott, could you come up? Appreciate you, Scott. We know you come out with the fire department a lot, buddy. You're not a member, but maybe it's time to join because I seen you dragging the hose and looked like you done a pretty good job, buddy. I sure appreciate it. I saw you fighting fire right out behind my house, and I appreciate you, buddy. Okay, what you see here is our local community, our local firefighters, and the members of our local community that really stepped up big time the night of that fire. So I want to give another round of applause for these guys. Yeah, that's right. We appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, we can't thank you enough for what you've done. Okay, I want to get back on our schedule as quick as we can. We're going to have car show announcements here in just a little bit. We got to get together and with the judges and find out the results to the car show. And Gang River is going to do a demonstration. We're going to call it a demonstration. We want to get together and start doing maybe in the next 10 minutes and do that demo. Okay, we're going to do auto extrication and water show, it says? Some sort of water show? Okay, they're going to do an auto extrication and some sort of water show. And I think that may be the next best thing to do, is maybe if people want to move up to that area and kind of watch those events take place, we'll move back down and have results for the car show, and we're going to have some results and drawings for the raffle back down here after that happens. So the next part of the on the calendar will be the Gang River Volunteer Fire Department, and they're going to put on a water show for you and an auto extrication. It's going to be up near the parking lot, right up there where the car show tent is, up by the ambulance, up in that area. And then after they do that, everybody move back down here. We'll have some results for the car show ready, and winners of we'll do the drawings for the raffle. And we're going to have more music in just a little while too.
So there you have it, folks. If you look at the video that I shot earlier, you're going to see fire trucks, you're going to see the car show, some really impressive automobiles over there to be in the middle of nowhere. And we got kids out there, and they're playing ball, and they're playing cornhole and all sorts of stuff. And there's a concession stand here. The next time they pull an event, you need to come out. Thank you very much.